What's going on, Jerome's? So we wanted to take a moment and look up where former Vikings that were on the 90-man rooster this year in the offseason training camp ended up. And also we wanted to look at the practice squad because as of right now, 11:16 p.m. Central Time, the Vikings have 15 on the 16-man practice squad, so still got some room. David Bling Blang Blau coming over from the Lions, and then also you have UDFA running back Brian Koback coming out of Toledo, Tristan Jackson, Diamond Dan Chisena, Travis Toivonen, Minnesota guy, went to North Dakota. We'll do a video on him in a sec. Nick Muse, Kyle Hinton, Josh Sokol around out the offense. TJ Smith, Jalen Twyman, Janaris Robinson, William Kwenku, Perry Nickerson, Tay Gowan, the new cornerback from the Eagles, originally drafted by the Cardinals, as well as safety Miles Dorn. So former Vikings that are in different places, different faces, all of that stuff. So quarterback Sean Mannion signed with the Seahawks practice squad. Now, the Vikings had wanted to put Mannion on the practice squad, but he's like, I'm going to Seattle. I'm going to go duke it out with Geno Smith and Drew Lock. Mannion did spend last offseason and training camp and preseason with the Seahawks before they let him go, and the Vikings brought back that love and Mannion. Kellen Mond's an interesting one because I didn't think about this one. So Kwesi Adofo-Mensah was with the Browns for the last 2 years. Andrew Berry, the GM there, was Kwesi's mentor. And Kellen Mond, they had to have had opinions about Kellen Mond during the 2021 draft. I mean, the Browns maybe even considered drafting him in the mid-rounds before the Vikings took him in the third round, number 66 overall. And Kwesi obviously had some affinity towards Kellen Mond because they decided to keep him on with the Vikings, even though he was a Spielman draft pick, but through regime change, it was like, Mama, I can change him. We can work with Kellen Mond. Didn't quite work out, but it's interesting because the Vikings probably would have put Kellen Mond on the practice squad. Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell alluded to that. But then his former mentor, Andrew Berry, just like, no, we're claiming him. We're going to put him on the 53-man rooster. So I don't know. Kind of interesting there. Jesse Davis, of course, got traded to the Steelers. He may start at some point. The Steelers have some problems along the offensive line. ISM and Armand for Watts were claimed by the Bears off of waivers. I mean, the Vikings, Kwesi definitely cleaning house with Rick Spielman's former guys. Is what it is. It's what you expect when there's regime change. But so quickly picked up by the Bears, who had the 7th waiver priority. Of course, they were going to get Watts. Of course, they were going to get ISM. They basically got 2 starters for free. ISM, I think, is the wide receiver 2 on the Bears today. And Armand for Watts is going to probably contribute highly along that defensive line as they look to replace, like Akeem Hicks and Eddie Goldman and whatnot. Chaz Surratt signed with the Jets practice squad. Again, once guys clear waivers, they're free agents. And even though the Vikings probably wanted to bring some of these guys back to their practice squad, they can go somewhere else where they have ties potentially with former coaches, or they see a better opportunity. There you go. Zach Davidson. He signed with the Bills practice squad. Now, Davidson's interesting because he's got all the physical tools in the world. Definitely needs a lot of polish coming out of Central Mizzou. And he was a Spielman draft pick, 5th round in 2021. Kwesi decided to practice squad his late round tight end in Nick Muse coming out of South Carolina, 7th rounder this year. So Davidson goes to the Bills. And I mean, the Bills, even though they're pretty deep at tight end, they got a couple of young guys who outperformed O.J. Howard. That's why they cut him, as well as, of course, Dawson Knox. But I mean, Davidson, given his raw physical ability and just putting him with Josh Allen, I mean, hell. Wyatt Davis, no matter what, last year's 3rd-round pick, he signed with the Giants practice squad. Cool. The Giants have had some issues along the offensive line, that's putting it mildly, and perhaps Davis, fresh start, really didn't get the time of day with the former regime, didn't get the time of day with the current regime, but maybe the Giants and the change of scenery is what he needs. Also with the Giants is Harrison Hand. Now, Hand was a little bit surprising because he was part of the 80-man roster cutdowns, and the Giants claimed him off of waivers. They put him on their practice squad. Sean Byer, former Iowa tight end. After the Vikings waived Nate Stanley, they brought in Byer because everyone thought this was like, oh, this is going to be J.C. Treader and Dominican Sue. It's like, no, Sean Byer. He was just the odd man out in the tight end competition. But, of course, the Packers pick him up on the practice squad because they want all the inside information. It never works like that. Our guy linebacker Blake Lynch signed up with the 49ers practice squad, and good things always seem to happen when Blake Lynch is on the field. Plus, remember, the Niners had joint practices as well as a preseason game against the Vikings this year, so they were able to see Blake Lynch up close and personal, made some nice connections there. I'm wishing Blake Lynch all the luck in the world, except for when he plays the Vikings. Timon Paris, Zach McLeod, the UDFA edge rusher out of Miami. I actually thought McLeod... I thought that he impressed, but apparently not so much. Myra Mitchell, Ty Smith, and as well as the UDFA Mike Brown are all still in the win. But, of course, that certainly could change. Practice squads are constantly getting turned over, not just the Vikings, but around the league. So these guys are probably going to end up on a squad at some point during the season. But that's it. Let's take a look at the where the former Vikings 90-man Rooster players have ended up, if not on the Vikings practice squad or the 53. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.